Everything is working as intended. Let me make sure it's showing up on Twitch as well. As always, let me check the chat. You know me, gotta do my routine. Perfect. All right, so today I'm gonna do some more shard pulls. I managed to grind up another 10 shards since the last time we recorded, which was what, Thursday? Last stream, sorry. So I've been kind of playing this as much as I could. I'm at level 32 finally, and I am on the second level. Whoops, ignore that. I am, bitch. All right, sorry. I am on the second level of the mine. I need one more to fully max it out. I've been focusing my gems on that. Normally, I focus it on buying as many ancients as I can at the beginning, but since I'm trying to make this as almost a guide for beginners, I want to make sure that I'm not, doing the wrong thing. And, that would be the wrong thing in my opinion. There's no need to blitz. There's no need to rush. Focus on the gem mine first because it pays back its money quickly. Okay, so let's, first of all, let me show you where I'm at with my missions. As you guys saw earlier, I'm actually getting close to this 300 right here. So I need to do $500,000, wow, 500,000 damage to the Demon Lord. So let's do that real quick. I should have a key available. I have a friend group here that we have a clan that we just dump our ults in. So these are all ults, you know. I didn't attack with One Piece OPS 3, but OPS 3 is also in this clan. So yeah, this is just where we dump all our ults that are not quite ready to join one of the bigger clans in our group. We're essentially a clan cluster at this point, you know. So yeah, so let's attack easy. It's on green, which should do well for at least 3 of these guys. So let's throw that. Oh, he has no gear on him right now because I swapped his gear on the other one, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I just let this auto. Obviously, later on when you start dealing with clan boss and you have a proper team, you're going to want a manual at the beginning depending on what your setup is and how your turn order goes, because you're going to care about a lot of that. And I'll get to that in a different point maybe. I've already talked about it a little bit on my main account. If you guys have watched any of those videos, I've done a couple clan boss videos explaining how my turn order is and how you have to speed tune and all that good stuff. But at the beginning, it's honestly not that important. Right now, you just want to get as much damage as you can. What the fuck? It's on ×1. Sorry about that, guys. So right now, honestly, at the beginning, just it's whatever you can get because you don't have anything yet, you know? Right now, the only viable champion I have is Kale. Everyone else here is going to be food at some point. They're just there because they're the first ones I got, you know? I should be able to at least get to the 500,000 damage. I've been averaging around 1 million thanks to Kale being level 50 and everything. It helps him survive a little bit, as you can see. Everyone else is already kind of dying. She's the only other person that I've actually tried to put a little bit of work into. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to I'll let it play out so you guys can see. Since it shouldn't take too long. Obviously, later on, the clan boss battles take so long, you have to cut it. In my 1 counter versus 2 counters video that where I tested out whether 1 counter is better than having 2 counter attackers on a team. Spoiler, it's one counter is just as good, if not better, than 2 counters, depending on who you have to slot in. Obviously, Sandlashed, which I've been saying wrong the entire time. Sandlashed, is a pretty good champion that extends your buffs, so she can extend your counterattacks, so it's not as relevant. Alright, so I did about 1 million. That's about what I average. Actually, I think it shows, yeah, see, so 3 keys, 3 million, so I've done about that on average. Alright, so now I got this one done. When 1 frost or lifesteal artifact from Dragon's Lair stage 3 or higher. Perfect. Alright, so first things first, let's open our shards. We have 10 shards here. Let's just open them. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat or anything. Let's just see what we get. Alright, couple dwarfs. Oh, she's not too bad actually. She's decent for clan boss. She's okay for clan boss as well. Alright, unfortunately I got Bupkis again, to be honest. Let me see her. I don't remember her. Attack 1 enemy. It decreases the duration of all debuffs on all allies by 1 turn. Increases the duration of all. Okay, so she extends buffs on your allies and decreases debuffs. Places 25% attack. I mean, that's not a bad ability, if I'm going to be honest with you. And it's 3 turns, so it's not a bad ability if you wanted to work with her for a bit. And she places shields on our allies. The value of the shield depends on this champion's level. Oh, that's weird. That's interesting. Heals each ally according to the number of buffs they are currently under. That's an interesting. So she's not a bad one. Hyria right here. She attacks one enemy, has an extra % chance of inflicting a critical hit, which means you only have to buff her critical rate to 75%. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 35% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff. So this is actually a great early champion to use for clan boss. And attacks one enemy with 2 random allies. Allies joining the attack use their default skills. So this is actually a decent champion for clan boss. I personally used her for clan boss on OPS 2 for a bit, actually, before I found better champions. I ended up pulling a Dracomorph on that channel. Not that channel. This one I don't actually like that much. Attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance, can be up to 50, of placing a 5% poison debuff for 1 turn. That's not a bad move. I'm not saying it is, but you know, there are better out there. Has attacks one enemy, has 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased debuff. Has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff instead if the target is under a poison debuff. So she's, what would you say, an accompanier. You need a poison. You need, you know, she's not a bad person, but there are better versions out there. But she's also decent if you want to use her early on. And attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit places a 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns. If you notice here, it doesn't give a % chance. That doesn't mean you don't need accuracy, but that means that if your accuracy is high enough, it's pretty much going to land every time. Okay? Plus is a 5% debuff instead if the target is under poison sensitivity, which her sister, Frozen Banshee, has. Okay, so not bad champions, just nothing that I personally will use. You know, I like to hold out. I like to hold out for better stuff if I can. Okay. So let's see if we can dump everything in here. I don't know if we already have some of these, so I'm just gonna. I can see I have her already and her. So let's not put those. Okay. All right. So let's just make sure we have no duplicates here. So the good thing is if you have them all at level 1, it'll put the duplicates next to each other. So like if I put her in, it'll automatically put her right there, right? Because they all have a spot in the code. Unless they're leveled, because if they're leveled, then they go at the top. The higher the level, the higher it goes on the list. All right, so we got some more food. I may level a couple of these off, you know, but unfortunately we didn't get much on this one. That's a shame. All right, but we did do this because these were just summon a rare magic, summon a rare force, summon a rare spirit. Obviously, since we summoned nothing but rares, we got that all going. So we got another epic book. So that's pretty nice. And I was actually almost done with this. So let's do this together real quick. Okay. So let's see if we get that skill book real quick. We just need to go to the normal campaign, the final one, and we need to beat that a couple times. So let's, who do we want to level? Let's just level a couple of these guys. So we need to do it at least 3 times, I think, and get gear from it. So let's go do that real quick, and then I'll discuss some more different, some other things we're gonna do, and I can show you where I'm at in Dragon as well, and try and go through some missions with you guys. All right, so we got one. We need 2 more. Obviously, most of the gear you get here is kind of crap. At the very beginning, if you don't have a set, or if you're too impatient to wait for at least 4 days to get a lifesteal set, you can try and get to, I think it's stage 8 or something. And I'll show you guys in a minute because they drop lifesteal. The good thing about the normal campaign, I mean the campaign, is that you can get specific equipment. The bad thing is the equipment is almost always crap. It's almost always uncommon. No, it is only uncommon and uncommon. You only can get rare if it's on the boss stage, which is what I'm doing now. That's why you guys saw me get a rare earlier. All right, let's see if I can get a... Oh my god, I keep getting champions. All right, so it said, remember, that I had to get gear, so I have to keep going until I get the gear for the mission. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing to waste some... Oh my god. What kind of luck is this? It's rare to get champions, by the way, especially the 3-star one. But to get him 3 times in a row is kind of funny. Fucking. It's like it wants to make me look bad or worse than I already do. Come on. Thank you, you fuck. All right, so let's grab that real quick. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll take. Oh fucking hell. I will take all of this. All right, so obviously these I probably will do them off because it's the same stuff. It's very tedious. It's not hard to do. It's just tedious. Okay, so let's ignore that for now. I believe Kale. Oh no, Kale's fully booked. That's nice. I have yet to waste my epic books because I don't know if I want to waste them on her or not yet. This is the epic champion that you get after 7 days. So let's discuss her real quick. Let's discuss her abilities. She attacks one enemy, has a 25% chance of removing a random buff from the target. It can be boosted to 35%. That's not that bad because if someone has counterattack or a shield or unkillable, it's great to get it off the enemy. So this can be useful. Attacks one enemy, places a 15% increase crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. Again, this is not the worst, but as you grow in your account, you're gonna want your champions to already have 100% crit rate. You don't want to depend on an ability to do it because what if she dies before the ability goes off or something like that. And as you can see here, these are based off attack. And then the only reason that I may want to keep her for later is revives an ally with 25% of their HP, places a shield buff on the target equal to 20% of the target's HP. So this is really useful when it comes to faction wars, because faction wars, if you want 3 stars, you have to have all your 5 champions alive at the end. So sometimes maybe you have a glass cannon, someone that hits really hard, but maybe their HP isn't the best and they die. So if you have, for example, on your orc team, if you have someone that dies quickly, she can res them, and she's fairly livable, sustainable. She does live fairly well, to give her some credit. But she's not the best epic in the world. She's up there with some of the bad ones to me. So she's probably most viable in faction wars. The only reason that you see a lot of people use her early is because she's the first epic you tend to get. As you guys saw, I've opened over 20 shards and I have yet to get an epic, right? Which is pretty bad luck. I think the daily reset finally kicked in, so we can get our stuff. So let's grab whatever we're gonna get. Jizo, on the other hand, I actually like a lot personally, so I will be using my epic books on him. I'll show you what he does when we get to him. So we'll get to him probably next week. So next week, Monday, you should be able to see me talk about him. So like I said, she's not that bad or anything like that, and I'm gonna keep her because for Orcs Faction Wars, she is very useful. What faction wars are open actually? Demon Spawn and Bannerlord. Obviously, I'm checking for my main because right now I doubt I have anything. See, I have nothing but level 1s. And on Demon Spawn, I have nothing really. Yeah, this is obvious. Faction Wars is really something you don't have to worry about until you start getting a few epics in your account and start building, start having a shit ton of champions. Because right now it's useless. We're at the beginning. We barely have champions of any class. Okay. So let's go to the next mission as well as talk about gear. So we're going to try and win at least 1 Frost or Lifesteal from Dragon Layer 3 or higher. Now, my recommendation for Dragon is that you don't farm it until you get to 10. Until you can get to 10 properly, I don't recommend farming it. Not saying you can't. Obviously, if you want to farm it, go for it because you never know. You can get 4 or 5-star pieces, but you really want the 5-star pieces. You don't want 3 stars. 3 stars sucks. And I'll talk about why in a minute. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about gear and why certain things are better than others. So let's go with this. And let's go ahead and attack him and hope for Frost gear. If not, I'll talk about the gear and why I'm going to sell it or keep it. So again, right now I don't have a specific team for Dragon or anything. It's just the best mold of my rares and stuff like that. Some of these rares honestly are not that good. I'm building up Rocktooth specifically, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'm building him up specifically for the Spirit dungeon later on because he has a heal reduction or heal block. I can't remember which, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. And as well as maybe level up one of the new rares we got because I may want to use one. Alright, so So as you can see, he does a lot of debuffs. He hits you with a lot of poisons, a lot of weakens, and he has a special. The dragon has a special move. I think it's this one right here. This right here. If he stays in the purple before his turn, on his turn, he's gonna beat the shit out of you with a special move. But if you manage to take him out of the purple, he'll just do that move that you just saw. All right, cool. I got a brew. I didn't get shit. I'm gonna do another couple here. Let's hope we get lucky with at least a piece of gear so I can talk about it. All right, so he got so that means he got his daily today. I got her yesterday. She's gonna help a lot with my barbarian faction wars. That's a legendary that you are guaranteed on your 180th day of playing. We're nowhere near that, obviously, on this account. So, yeah, baby. So he's pretty happy. Um, oh, we got lifesteal. All right, let's check it out. So first things first, we got a flat defense chest, and I'm gonna talk about the different stats you can get on each one. But I'll tell you right now, that's personally not something I would want, so I'm automatically gonna sell it. I'm not even gonna think about it. So that should, yep, that counted as our mission. So let's get out of here. Let's grab that. We did that already. Let's see this. Equip 2 attack champions with 12%. With 12 plus gauntlets, boots, and chest with attack percent as their primary stat. That fucking sucks. I think I screwed up on that, guys. Okay, we got attack percent there. So a good way to do this now. Before this didn't exist. To give you guys an idea here, this right here, this filter system didn't exist before. But now we can finally just look at this. So let's see if we can find. So unfortunately, ooh. Okay, so we have enough for one set here. We have, this guy already has gloves and chest. We can just put boots on him. And I have enough for chest and boots on one more. We don't have a second pair of gloves. So I cannot do that mission yet. I'm gonna have to go farm that later. Now remember, earlier, if you guys remember, they forced us to try and find an attack percent glove, chest and boots, and they made us do it before. But I sold all of that because I sold all the crappy gear. So let's talk about gear a little bit. Let's see if I can. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where it is because my friends told me about it. I'm trying to see if I can show you guys exactly where it tells you guys about different gear. But I can't remember the location. Oh, wait. I think I remember now. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I forget stuff. Fuck. Like, it's such an annoying spot. And I can't remember where it is. Because it's such... It really should be put more on the forefront, and maybe it is, and I just don't remember where it's located. But there's a place where it'll show you exactly what your gear can be. But since I can't find it, I'm just going to talk about it, alright? So, your weapon is always going to have attack flat stat, okay? It's always going to have an attack flat stat, and depending on the rarity, it'll have a certain amount of substats. So, for example... A common will not have any substats. A rare will have 2, sorry. An uncommon will have 1. Epic will have 3. And I don't think I have any legendary pieces, but they would have all of them unlocked. And the benefit to that is that when you upgrade it, for example, upgrading this. Let's upgrade this to 4 real quick so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So I don't have any substat. So instead of, so when I upgrade to 4, I will unlock a substat. That's fair enough, right? That makes sense. So I got HP. So the benefit to an uncommon, let's find a viable uncommon piece if possible. So this one right here, this one already has attack 3%. So if I update this to level 4, it will automatically upgrade the attack 3% to a higher percentage. Depending on how many stars will depend on how massive the upgrade will be. So obviously the more stars, the better it is. So it upgraded to 4%, so now it's at 7%, right? And that same logic continues to flow, right? So for example, this one has attack percent and attack damage. So if I upgrade this to level 8, you're going to see that it's going to upgrade randomly. You know, this is all RNG, unfortunately. It's going to upgrade. So it upgraded attack percent the first time. So let's see what it upgrades the second time. This is all about luck here. So it's always to your benefit to double check what it may upgrade. So here it landed on attack percent twice. So now this is a decent attack percent set, and it's the set bonus on this particular one is 15% attack. So this is good for an attack champion or someone you're trying to make into an attack champion. So that's a little bit as to the ranks of them, whether it be common, uncommon, epic, or legendary. Rare, you know, epic or legendary. Now, the other thing you want to know about, you want to care about, is what each stat does. So, for example, this one's attack percent, so obviously it raises your attack. Helmet is only HP. That's all it can ever be. So don't get rid of it. It's like, oh, this is HP flat, so get rid of it. No, it's always going to be HP flat on the helmet, and then the shield will always be defense. Now, the gloves is one of the rare ones. It can have all the flat stats except resistance and accuracy and speed. It also can have all the percent stats, especially two. There's two that only can appear on gloves, and that is crit rate and crit damage. And this is where the stars matter, because it's a 4-star, it can only go up to a max of 40% on crit rate. But if you had 5-star, it can go 50%. If you had 6-star, it can go 60%. So when you're talking percentages for the main stat, it depends on the stars, will depend on how high it goes, okay? So that is why the bigger the stars, the more valuable you'll get it. So this is 40% when it's maxed out. It's not like it's small or anything, but it's definitely a waste of resources to be maxing those out. And I try to avoid doing that, but I wanted crit rate as much as possible. So I decided to do it on this set, and if you notice, I'm not going to do it on these because it's not worth the energy, in my opinion. Okay, there is one more spot where crit damage can be in the main stat, and that is your necklace. I can't remember the exact name. I think it's necklace or amulet. Sorry, it's amulet. It's ring, amulet, and banner. So the amulet can also have crit damage. So let me just point that out right now. Now the chest is pretty straightforward. It can be all the regular flat stats of attack, defense, and HP. All the percentages, attack, defense, and HP. And you can also have resistance or accuracy. I don't know if I have any by any chance, but let me just look for chests. Okay. All right, so I don't seem to have one. Oh, so okay, so here's an accuracy set. So let me just show you. So the max here would be 64. If it was 5 stars, it'd be around 78, I believe. And if it was 6-star, it's 96. And resistance is another one that you can also get. I don't know if I got it by any chance. I probably sold it already because I'm an asshole. All right. So you can have accuracy or resistance on your chest as well. So that's beneficial if you're trying to build a high resistance character or high accuracy character so that they're landing their abilities. As you can see, my Kale's accuracy is garbage. So that is something you may want to consider if you wanted to his poisons to land a lot more, because they're not landing as much as they could. Okay, right now, as I said before, I'm not caring too much about the gear because I don't have any good gear. Now, boots is one of the most important ones because you can only get, you get the regular flat stats again, attack, defense, HP, percent, and flat stat. And when I say flat stat, I mean something like this, where it's a flat total. Let me see if I have any. So that's percent. That's percent. So that's a flat stat. So So that means that it's a flat number. It's going to give you whatever that number is, right? Or its percent is a percent based on your base amount. So if you have 20% of 10,000 here, then you'll get 2,000 more HP, right? But you can also get for boots speed. And speed is the name of the game. If you guys have seen any of my videos on my other account, the main account that I use, if you don't have the right speed, I actually just made a recording and I'm going to post it a little bit after I post this video, where literally 5 speed made the difference between a win and a loss for me on one of my champions. So speed is very, very important. Okay. So boots is probably one of the most important ones. Any speed ones you get, I suggest you keep, especially if they're 5 or 6 star, even if they're from a set that you don't normally use. So let's say these were speed boots, or no, actually no. So let's say frost. I tend not to use frost myself. So I'd actually still keep speed boots that are frost if it's 5 or 6 stars, because it's still beneficial. You don't need a perfect set. People always think you do. You don't. Okay. All right. So now is to talk about the ring, amulet, and banner. The ring is basic flat stats, which is HP, attack, defense. It cannot be percent, so don't bother looking. And there are certain substats that will not appear on it either. I can't recall them off the top of my head, and I can't remember how to check them, unfortunately, because unfortunately Plarium put it in a weird spot. One of my friends told me how to find it before, but I can't remember right now. Clam, I'll have to ask him later. Amulet, aside from crit damage, everything else is going to be the same. It's going to be attack, HP, and defense flat stat. And then the banner can be the main 3 flat stats, and it can be accuracy or resistance. So the banner is probably the most important one. You always want accuracy. This is where the majority of your champions late game are going to get their accuracy from, because you don't want a chest of accuracy if you can avoid it, because you'd rather have a defense percent or HP percent to make them more sustainable. Okay. Banner is also the only one of the 3 that allows you to get speed substat, and that's also important for speed tuning, which I'll show you guys later on. Okay. So that's roughly a rough breakdown of the gear. I'm sorry if it's a bit too rough. You know how I go. I don't go with the script. I just kind of babble and hope some of this information gets to you, and I'm telling it to you as best I can. All right, so let's actually grab someone from our champion pool here. I actually want to use her. So let's use her. Let's start building her up a little bit, as well as start working on some of this. Okay. All right, so if you pick a champion that you want to use, you have to start setting up food for them and start working on them properly. So let's see if we can feed her some uncommons, because I probably have too many anyways. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of brews set up or anything like that, obviously, because I use them when I get them. Excuse me. So let's see if we can manage to do it in this episode. If not, it is what it is. There's one rare that I'm on the lookout for, because it's one of the best rares in the game, but unfortunately I have yet to get them yet. All right, now this is something you should not do. Don't waste your uncommons on stuff like this. I'm doing it mostly because I know I'm gonna grind, but most of you guys probably won't play to the same level I'm playing right now. So make sure you don't eat your uncommons so quickly for this. You want to use them as food. I'm just doing it because I'm trying to quickly get her to level 30 so that I can move forward with what I want to, with building a champion for you guys on stream. So because of that, I'm going to make this quicker. All right, let's also ascend her if we can. We ascended her once. Also, I do not recommend ascending champions that you don't plan on using. It's just a waste of pots and potions and resources. Like I said, since I'm probably gonna use her late game, I ascended her a little bit. Since I'm using her as my healer right now until I get a better one, I'm using her, so I ascended her. Rocktooth I ascended mostly because I'm going to be using him a little bit later, because he places 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns, and that is very important for when you are attacking the Spirit Keep. Let's see if the Spirit Keep is open, because I think I lost my So the first 7 days of a new account, you'll have all of these open, but then after that, it'll go to one at a time. So unfortunately, I can't attack the Spirit Keep, but the Spirit Keep's niche is that she heals herself a shit ton. So you need to block her heals, or it's gonna be annoying as fuck. Oh, I think I just might have remembered something. No, it's not there either. I'm trying to remember. I swear to you, there's a way to check, and it's so annoying that I can't remember it. Let's pull some of these just because, honestly, I want more fodder and hope I get a rare. Oh, we got a rare. Runic Warder. Obviously, later on in the game, as you get more into it and you play more, you're going to start getting so many mystery shards. My main account sometimes has like 500 on it at any given moment because you're not going to need those unless you're doing it. You're using it for food. And when I say food, I mean stuff that you're going to feed your champion like I've been doing. So all these uncommons, I'm feeding them to her because they're useless to me. Alright. Come on. Trying to just get her up, man. She's actually pretty good. I've seen people use her like literally in the end game, and I find that really interesting. I'm not going to do it because I don't care right now. Alright, perfect. Alright, so since we have her level to 30, I'm going to also just feed 3... Sorry. So let me show you guys what you need to do if you want to level up a champion to the next star level. So you're going to feed her 3 3-stars to get her to level 4. To 4 stars, sorry. So let's feed her 3 of the crappiest ones I have. I made a couple uncommons for some challenge that I had to do. Oh, I ended up doing a weekly as well. Alright, so now she's at 4 stars. And it's the same. You're going to keep doing that. So for example, if I wanted to get him to level 5, I need 4 4-stars. If I want to get KO to level 6, I would need 5 5-stars, sorry. So I'm already setting up for Kale. If you guys haven't noticed, right here, this guy right here is going to be fed to Kale when he's at 5 stars. I've already set him up. And I have a duplicate in the vault. I have duplicates of him in the vault. Let's actually make him already a 4-star. So he's going to be food as well. So pretty much all of these guys, her, if I can get a better healer, she's going to be food, assuming I can get a duplicate. Because as I told you guys before, you want to at least have one of each champion in your vault. And I'm trying to do that. Now let's actually throw that Runic Warder that we just got in here. Because I don't think I had one of him. I didn't. Alright, so we got a little decent hero pool here. And now from here, you can start building them if you wanted to for certain situations. It's better to have them here because you never know what you're going to need for what situation. For example, Rocktooth in terms of blocking the heal reduction. And actually, that's a part of your challenges. See here. Place a decreased defense debuff on the Force Guardian while beating stage 5. So you're going to want a champion that could do that. So because we have all of these guys in the vault, we can just grab one and see if they have the ability. Unfortunately, this is one of the issues with Plarium. You have to pull them out to do it. But, you know, that's one of the benefits of having so many champions in your vault is that you may have one that can do the challenge you need. Alright, so let's see what was next on our agenda here. Oh, that's not happening right now. Let's see if there's anything else I want to show you guys or do. I think that's it for this one. There's not much else I can do right now aside from grinding, and I'm not going to bother wasting you guys' time with all the grinding. Unfortunately, I didn't get any new epics. I only have the given epic that they give you, you know. Don't forget though, any epic you get is probably better than most of the rares you're going to get because their stats will be better at the end of the day, okay? They're flat stats once you level them up all the way. So, yeah, there's not much else I can tell you guys. Make sure you don't eat any of your rares and up. In my opinion, you're going to need them, especially when you start working on Faction Wars. I talked to you guys a little bit about the gear. We opened some shards, and yeah, that's about all I can tell you guys, to be honest with you. So, I'm going to leave this one here. And if you enjoyed the content, please feel free to let me know. Give me some comments. Tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Let me know on that front. If you guys want to follow me, what I'm doing on the daily, feel free to check out my Twitter. We just watched Fruit Basket. Me and my wife, we watched the latest episode. It's pretty good. It's getting really intense with Akito confronting Toru and all that good stuff. Spoilers. Um, and yeah, and I will be trying to do this, kind of show you this walkthrough from the beginning to the end game. There might be some parts in the middle where I don't stream this for a bit because, after a while, the beginning of the game is kind of self-explanatory, right? I've showed you a little bit of everything, and at that point, it's just about grinding certain things. So remember, this game is a grind. Most of these games, these gachas are grindy, and they're luck-based. It's very RNG-based. My OPS3 account got 2 legendaries in the same time frame that this account has been playing, and this account has literally no epics except for the free one. So it's really all RNG based. You never know what you're gonna get, and obviously each account will play differently because of what you get. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and yeah, take it easy.